Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
I have in the studio with us Nicole Andrews, who is a functional nutrition therapist and lifestyle educator. And you were telling me some new things that you are doing now.
Yes, thanks for having me on. It's always so great to be here. So one of the new things that I'm doing is it's the Complete Detox Program. It's an online program, which, that's the new thing now is the online. Everybody's online and wants something to do from home, from the privacy of their own house. So I have that going on, and it's a 4-week program, and it's a complete overhaul. So when people want to stop sugar cravings and they want to get themselves going on, get a fresh start, get off of their poor eating habits.
A lot of carbs,
a lot of sugar,
right?
And they feel in a funk. It's a great overhaul. So it's a great jump start. And what it is basically you get an email every single day. You get guides. You have every week we have a group meeting, so it's a group support, and everything's online. You have a recipe book, and there's just a lot of great support. There's a whole Facebook group, the Complete Detox Facebook group. So it's others that have been through the program and that are either on the program or have been through the program.
You actually have cooking classes.
And yes, and then
I
post videos of cooking different things, and the thing about the Complete Detox Program, it's not just diet. It's basically self-care routine. It's looking at the toxins coming in from your cleaning products, from your personal care products, because in today's day and age, ANITA, there's so many toxins and that we're not aware of, and they're disrupting our complete balance of our body, our endocrine system, our blood sugar, our thyroid. It's amazing to see how many things are rebalanced with just simple things, and people get scared, when they hear the word detox. They think, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to fast or juice.
I'm going to stop you there because that was my next question. I want you, because the whole word detox it actually turns me off too. So
right.
You need to explain this.
Right.
Maybe there needs to be a different word.
A different word, maybe. And that's why I put the word complete in there, because it's not just about fat, and it doesn't even have fasting in it. Really what it is the first week is all preparation. So we have preparation the first week. And what happens is that you start to get off of things like sugar, all of the legalized drugs, I call them, sugar, alcohol, dairy, gluten, processed foods, and you have support in that. Like I said, there's daily emails and guides and groups and things. So you have so much support around that, and you slowly wean down these foods because you're stuck in this way of eating. And this is a way to wean down. If you just stop eating sugar or stop eating gluten, you can have horrible reactions, just everybody knows, if you stop drinking coffee, you can get like a migraine, like headache, if you're a coffee drinker. And even people that drink alcohol regularly, you have to wean yourself down. And so the Complete Detox Program is about, letting your body rest for 10 days or however many days. It's the detox phase is only 10 days. So it's very doable. And so then you start to wean down. You have a whole week to do that. And then phase 2 is the detox phase, where there's special, it's a shake and capsules, but in that you're also eating off of the elimination diet, which is no gluten, no dairy, no soy, no corn. And I give you tons of meal suggestions and guidelines and snack ideas, and it's very, very doable. And then we talk about, things that enhance detox capacity. Yesterday I put a Facebook Live video up about skin brushing and how skin brushing can help activate the lymphatic system. And that in turn helps detoxify our body. It's our main way.
I'm gonna interrupt you to ask you something, because you said a word and I've been so curious. This gluten thing is, I think, gone crazy, because I just read something about that from a scientist that said this could be a big problem for people. They get off gluten, and that probably isn't what people think. They think, oh, we're getting rid of it. It's like, don't have sugar. I'd like to talk to you about gluten. I think, and I know you know so much about this. Let's discuss that. Should people just be buying no gluten unless are there people who just have allergies?
Actually, the gluten is a huge topic, and it is very controversial. It's not really. It's become a fad because a lot of people are not educated on why they should be avoiding it. People, they found a certain percentage, maybe 10 or 13% of people just avoid it because they think it's good for them. So a lot of people just don't really know why to avoid it, but really it goes back to the way that we're processing the wheat in today's day and age. We're hybridizing it. It's not left to ferment anymore. The dough's not left to rise. So therefore, the gluten content in today's food is so much higher than it used to be. And not only that, because it's hybridized, it's a different molecule. So it's wreaking havoc in our digestive system. And that's where the problem starts. And that's a lot of being functional nutrition. I believe a lot of people's issues start within the gut. And so, it is a good thing, but then replacing it with all of these gluten-free foods is where the problem comes in, right? Because they're high in calories and sugar, and it's not
Good
just like
point.
I'm going to fill my pantry up with cookies and gluten-free pizzas and gluten-free crackers, because overall they're still processed foods and sugar. So that's not the idea. But, the first thing is understanding why we should be avoiding it or why somebody should be avoiding it. And then the second is, you don't just go and replace it with just gluten-free processed foods.
Because that's exactly, I bought something in a health food store the other day. I bought bread, because there's so many different kinds of bread, and I usually buy a certain kind of I used to buy hemp bread, and I loved it. They stopped making it for some reason. It was so good. I buy the hemp seeds instead. But
right, those are great.
Yes, but I did buy a bread that was flaxseed, which I loved. But it actually said gluten-free. And I didn't think I needed to do that. I'm not on a gluten-free diet. Maybe I should be, but that's not what I've been doing. But here they put that in there.
Right.
But what are they substituting for that?
So a lot of the gluten-free products have, whether it's corn or potato or buckwheat, and they put other gluten-free flours in it. And then there's also some different paleo gluten-free breads that have root vegetable flours or nut flours,
so that's okay.
Almond flour. Sure. Those are great. And that's a good thing one of the things that people notice when they go through the complete detox program, phase 3 is reintroduction. So when you're off these foods for, 14 days or 10 or 14 days or so, you're actually, you have a reset to your body. And when you incorporate something back, say, yeah, I really want my sourdough bread back or my rye bread back. And you have that in that reintroduction phase, and you've been off of it for 2 weeks, and you kind of have that reset point. You notice, is this going to cause a problem? And then you would notice when you wouldn't really notice things before. I've been doing detox probably for 8 years. It's one of the reasons why I had infertility and migraines and all IBS. And, I've been gluten-free for 12 years, and it's helped all those things tremendously. And so when you reintroduce it, if you choose to reintroduce it, you'll notice right away, is there a problem with it? You might feel bloating, gas. You might feel tired. You might feel like it took me a few detox programs before I noticed corn gave me a problem. Even organic corn, I had this one spot in my leg every time I eat like an organic corn chip after the detox. I'm like, it's just so bad. It's like a little patch. There's nothing there, but it's like you notice things a lot more when you reintroduce them. So that could be something you could try, Anita.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to give your website. I use your website a lot. As you know, sometimes I use it on the cover. I take some of your food and your recipes are really lovely.
Thank you.
So it's very easy. It's livingfresh.org, livingfresh.org, because it's wonderful to see the way that you can take food and make it so simple, and the recipes are so simple. And so I'm really happy about that. But I want to get back to what you were talking about, detoxification. You know, because of the addiction, the word detox, I think that's what's gotten everybody a little crazy.
Right.
Because if someone's an addict on either alcohol or drugs, they got to get detox first.
Sure, it's a
So
clinical
now when
detox.
you say, that's right. That's right. So I wish there were another word.
Yeah, maybe
that
that's not such a great word.
Well, that's why, because
Maybe we shouldn't have used that word.
That's the detox is
now that it's posted
we all
everywhere.
Think about that, because I have
it's
so many,
very scary, you know.
So
and I should make a video about that. And,
well, yeah. Or is there another word that, you know, it's a cleansing, or it's something else, because
it's like an overhaul.
It turns me off. I have to tell you, when you say a detox program, I don't even want to talk about it,
because you think you're either going to be in the bathroom all day,
that's right,
or you're actually going to feel like restricted and starving,
right. and
when it's really just kind of like a reset and reach. I have like 20 people in my group right now. And we meet every week on virtual, like through screen share. So you don't have to show your face, but you're there and you could listen. And, you know,
what you ask them, is there another word that would work better?
Yeah,
because
I could ask
if they say to their friends, "Oh, I'm doing this great detox program."
Sure.
Oh, what, have you been an alcoholic, or what are you doing?
Exactly. So you know, when you go to the website and you have the drop down, it's livingfresh.org/detox program, and you can read a little bit about that. It tells you my story, how I've dealt with my health issues, and how I believe it's a great start. It's a great start to any dietary changes you're making. And oftentimes it's amazing, Anita. I feel if their thyroid's off a little bit, like just doing a program like this can really reset some lab values that have been off. It's a great starting point before you start any weight loss program, because toxins are stored in the fat cells. And so that's where they're stored in our body, in our brain, which is fat. That's why people have foggy, you know, a lot of times when we're have this toxic overload, where we have this foggy thinking, can't think straight, forgetful. So because toxins are stored in our brain, that's all fat. And they're also stored in our fat cells. So when you start losing a lot of weight, these toxins actually get upregulated, and they're actually floating around in your bloodstream. So doing a detox program, or a program similar to this, that the complete detox, is a great reset. It's a great way to start before you start any weight loss program too.
Let me just tell you, you're listening to Nicole Andrews. She is a registered dietitian and a licensed, registered and licensed nutritionist, dietitian, nutritionist, all of it, functional nutrition therapist, and lifestyle educator. And I'm going to give you her phone number. You can call her at 954-446-7477. But I wanted to also, as you were talking about these things, I wanted to talk about yogurt. I'm getting to get all my questions answered here.
Sure.
Years ago, I had a yogurt machine. You know, it had 6 cups. And I made my yogurt, and it was natural and wonderful. And that's years ago. I'd like to do that again, because I think that's real. Because now you go to the store, and they have all this kind of yogurt, and some has sugar in it, has too many things in it. Right. So what do you think about yogurt? Can we get on that subject?
Sure. I mean, this brings up a whole ball of things in my head, but you know what?
10 minutes.
I think yogurt, because it is so processed today's day and age, I think it is, not only is it processed, it has like artificial sweeteners or sugar or different things in it that we should be avoiding, but it also is like, it's a processed form of dairy, right? And I'm a more naturalist. So making your yogurt, I believe, is a great idea. And
I'm glad you like that. I was going to ask you.
No, I like that idea. And it's really, I believe in because there's dairy products that have been homogenized and pasteurized, and, it really does kill a lot of the enzymes that are in dairy products, that creates lactose intolerance for a lot of people. And so it's killing those enzymes. So even like some of these farmers markets, they have raw yogurt or raw milk. And I believe that, that is actually a better source, because even the fat, even though it's whole milk, the fat in that is actually from grass-fed cows. So the fat is different. Like I said, it brings up a lot of different topics, but the fat is different in that if it's from grass-fed cows, it has a lot of conjugated linoleic acid in it. It has a lot of different things. It's the type of saturated fat is a different type of saturated fat than like store-bought whole milk. And so you're getting a richer product. And even though it has more fat, it's more satiating. So you feel full for longer. And, it's a great, and they're delicious. I gave my son raw milk when he was a baby. I went out to this a farm and got it. And I think, and you can find their homemade yogurts there, and even goat yogurt. I have a lot of people.
I have some goat yogurt at home. I bought by mistake, wonderful. And I do love it.
It's wonderful.
But so it's what I have to put in to make the yogurt. I have to make sure that I get something very good to start the yogurt, because you use every time. Have you ever had your own home yogurt maker?
I've had it from the farm, and it is delicious. They may make their own.
No. Have you ever made your own yogurt?
I've never made it. No,
two
little kids.
I asked the nutritionist where to buy it. She thought I'd go to Bed Bath & Beyond. If not, I'm going to get on the internet. Because I had fresh yogurt, 4 times. I had my little, it's like a little cup.
Right.
And I'm going back to get it. You just plug this in. And it was wonderful. And I don't know what I ever did with it. I don't have it. But I am so tired of going and trying to figure out, do I want that kind of yogurt? It has this, it has that. It's going to be a lot less expensive.
And the starters, you get the right bacteria. You can get them. Ecology is one. I believe Ecology is one brand, and
I'll get that at a health food store,
at the health food store, or you can get it from.
I'd like to get the goat
Market.
I like that.
Thrive Market, I use a lot. I think that's a great resource too. For a lot
so that's my big thing for today, and so maybe I'll let you know, and maybe you could get one.
Of course,
but see.
But making your own things, I think, is great. That's actually what I do, too, now, is help people. I just went to a client's house last week, and we made smoothie bowls. Smoothie bowls. So I'm getting sick of my normal smoothie. I said, you know what? I have to show you something that's really cool. And it's the texture of ice cream. And so you make a smoothie with, like the right kind of powder and the spinach and the berries, and we make different ones. So we made a green monster smoothie bowl with avocado and spinach.
Excuse me, what do you put it in?
So you're blending it.
Yeah.
And you get a small amount of liquid, you blend it down, and so that you move it around, and then when it comes out of the blender, it's the consistency of ice cream. Then what we do is we put toppers on it so it looks super pretty, like sliced banana and coconut flakes and your hemp hearts that you love so much. And you make this bowl, this beautiful bowl, because we eat with our eyes, right? And it makes this beautiful presentation. And you're eating, and it's so filling, and it doesn't feel like you're sucking down this boring old smoothie anymore.
Beautiful idea. So it's a smoothie bowl.
Smoothie bowl.
I love that idea. We have to talk about a smoothie bowl. Okay, I got that in my brain now, too.
I'll send you some pictures.
Okay, that's really smoothie bowl. Is it on your website?
It will be. It will be.
Yeah, because
that was from last weekend.
That's the whole point of doing things that are a little bit different, but it's all the good nourishment.
Sure. And after here, I'm going to a market tour with a client around Whole Foods, because those places are so confusing.
Yes. So you actually, that's very interesting. You're rare in this. So you now are a consultant that you will take somebody to a market, teach them about what everything is. Well, then I have to tell you something that you don't know about. I know you don't know about this. Before Whole Foods was there, it was called
the one on Glades.
Yeah, no, they had others. No, it wasn't the one on Glades, but it fell into that. It wasn't Whole Foods because that's a chain. Holy Harvest.
Okay.
Holy Harvest was very early, and they used to advertise with me. And what we did is we set up a program many years ago when people didn't go to, typical seniors did not go to special,
health food stores.
Health food stores.
Uh-huh.
My father was into health foods in the 1950s. He made soy burgers. I grew up on a lot of this kind of stuff. So anyway, I knew the benefits. And so I convinced them that they were advertising, and we would have a seminar once a month, and we would go there. And I would have their nutritionist and I would go up and down the aisles. One aisle this month, another aisle the next month. And we would talk about all the different foods and what you want. And we got so many seniors starting to eat things they never ate before. So much
fun. I tell you what.
So when you said that to me, that's years ago. And that was
funny.
And then we'd actually have the seminar there and they could taste the foods.
Sure.
Of course, now it's become a giant thing, but we really did start this. And you didn't know that.
I didn't know that. And it's still coming around full circle. And because I think, it's today more people are getting health conscious, but I think we'll always have questions and nowadays too, there's more controversy out there. There's more confusion out there. So I think there's a lot of questions going on. And it's so funny you said you take one aisle a month, because when I go with somebody, we have usually in a program, we have 2 or 3 or 4 VIP sessions. And that's where I go to their house. We cook, we do different things. I go through their cupboard or we go to the market.
It's great.
And it's, you know what? People tell me, they say, Nicole, we have to come back here on another session because I am still like, there's so much more I want to ask you about, because we can only get through so many in 2 hours. You don't want to be there all day. You'll be frozen. But it is, there's so much to talk about, and it's just a lot of fun.
I have to tell you something else I just learned. I don't eat salt, and I anytime I go somewhere to eat, it seems like it's too salty because I don't put salt on my food. So I now I love soup.
Uh-huh.
And so I now will buy a chicken at Whole Foods or somewhere, already made.
Okay.
I take the chicken, I cut it up in 6 parts. Then I take one of those parts, I put it in water, and I add celery and carrots and onion and all the stuff. And
Excellent.
I cook it. And of course, it's got enough salt in it, I don't have to add anything.
Sure.
And now I have something new. So now I take barley, and I put some barley in there.
Uh-huh.
And I took some lima beans. I made the greatest soup the other day. All natural.
Putting some things in it.
That's right. All natural. And
that's wonderful.
I'm coming back to things my mother used to do and my father.
What they used to do too is make bone broth. And this is a huge thing now, is that, it's coming back. Like you said, things are coming back from a long time.
The bone broth.
Or like, I'm sure your parents made this bone broth, and they would take the bones and boil them for 24 hours.
Inside.
And all these wonderful compounds start coming out into the liquid that are healing.
Well, my dog gets the bone. I know. I'm doing that. I'm buying the bones.
Right. And now people are, we can make your own bone broth if you want to put it in a crock pot and let it boil for 12, 24 hours. You'd be amazed at how these healing properties makes your skin plump because of the collagen. It helps your gut heal because of the glutamine. And it's available now frozen as well. You can get it at Whole Foods frozen if you don't want to go through the process. But, these are things that were around and that we've lost touch with. And I think, we're just coming full circle, but we have to be reminded.
Best, right?
Yeah.
Natural is best. And you have always been that way. And I really do commend you, because you're going to change the name Detox. If anything,
right?
You
hate
been,
that word.
I
think other people do probably. Yeah, but it's the wrong word.
It is the wrong word in today's market.
The complete renewal program. There we go.
You're a total body.
Yeah.
Total body
overhaul. So when you see that, you'll know it's not to be scared, not detox to be scared. It's detox.
Right.
It's detox from different things in your life too, because you think about detox, getting off of toxic things. And it doesn't have to be drugs and food. It could be, it just could be changing your cleaner, detoxing from a toxic cleaner to a natural glass cleaner.
We still don't. That's really very far.
Look at what our grandparents did, like the vinegar, going back to the vinegar and the water. But you know what? We talk about these things and what it is in this Windex that's a problem. And people are keeping it hush-hush. They don't want everybody to know that this is linked to a known carcinogen, probable carcinogen. It's not something that's out there in the mainstream, because there's people that are keeping it tightly controlled, but again, going back to the old ways of cleaning, and we talk about all the things on the detox, so many things, personal care, self-care, and movement, and and mindset and relaxation. And it's not just about diet; it's about the whole person.
So that's really, it's the whole person. So I can hear the toxins in your house. I understand that, and we all understand it because of the environment. But the toxins in my body, I don't think in terms that way. I see, and I'm just saying how other people, especially, depends on the age. Now, if you're dealing with 30 and 40-year-olds, maybe it's okay.
I tell you what, and that brings up a great point, because the last, you think about it, you didn't have to detox way back when. Nobody even heard of this. Like, why would I even have to detox? But because of the world we live in today and the chemical and the pollution and the chemicals we use on the food, 90% of the toxins come from the food we eat. And we're eating them, so they're getting in our body. Our skin is our largest organ. So, of course, what we're putting on our body is getting in our body, and what we're eating is getting in our body, because, the toxic load becomes so high, and the lack of nutrients that we're not getting, that combination makes for an increased toxic load, because our body can't process that anymore. Way back when, we didn't have to think about that.
And before we run out of time, I'm going to tell you something else. I know that beets are very good for you, and I'm being very careful about my blood pressure, and I know beets are very good. So, of course, if you look at the cans or the bottles, they're loaded with salt. So I now buy organic beets.
Great.
And I peel them, and I make them, I boil them up, and now I have the liquid to drink.
Excellent.
And then I have the beets to eat.
Excellent.
And so I'm a big beet person, and thinking about the color. Now you understand why people did beautiful things. I'm figuring out what to do to take a white shirt and dip it in the beet juice and have this gorgeous pink.
Beautiful tie-dyed pink shirt.
Exactly.
Natural colors right there. Yeah, but that's definitely a great thing.
So here's a natural thing with beets. And then we don't have time, but I just found out I have a friend that has rheumatoid arthritis, and I read all about celery. And celery is fabulous for that. So anyway, we can't go on, but I just wanted to thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
And forget the word detox. Go to something else, please, and you're going to do much better. I don't do that with people, but I really like you, and I hate the word.
Okay.
I hate the word because of all the addiction going on.
Right.
And everyone has to get detoxed from their addictions.
Right. So the complete detox, when you see it on livingfresh.org under program, you think about the complete overhaul program, the complete reset program.
Right. Natural
You can put your own word in there and read about it and see what you think.
Okay. So let me give you her website. It's livingfresh.org, and thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. It's always so much fun,
I was
Anita.
so bossy. I'm sorry, but I was waiting to
I'm used to you by now.
So many
I think
answers
this is my
from
sixth time being on the radio.
Thank you.